I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Her church taught her to do all the good you can, for all the people you can, for as long as you can. After law school, she could have joined a high-priced law firm, but instead, she worked to reform juvenile justice in South Carolina, exposed racism in Alabama schools, registered Latino voters in Texas, and provided legal aid to families in Arkansas. Her life's work has been about breaking barriers, and so would her presidency. Which is why for every American who's not being paid what they're worth, who's held back by student debt or a system tilted against them, and there are far too many of you, she understands that our country can't reach its potential unless we all do. Together, a stronger country.
The son of a Polish immigrant who grew up in a Brooklyn tenement, he went to public schools, then college, where the work of his life began, fighting injustice and inequality, speaking truth to power. He moved to Vermont, won election and praise as one of America's best mayors. In Congress, he stood up for working families and for principle, opposing the Iraq War, supporting veterans. Now he's taking on Wall Street and a corrupt political system, funded by over 1 million contributions, tackling climate change to create clean energy jobs, fighting for living wages, equal pay, and tuition-free public colleges.
People are sick and tired of establishment politics, and they want real change.
Bernie Sanders, husband, father, grandfather, an honest leader, building a movement with you to give us a future to believe in.
I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump continues to dominate.
Packed state
Thousands of
all
people.
the way around the convention
Biggest
center.
crowd today.
Surging in the polls.
Bar out in front.
More than double. Resort will be out.
Trump is different.
He's his own man.
Totally fearless. He cannot be
He's the
stopped.
last hope for America.
The silent majority is back.
I came to hear Donald Trump's business plan for America.
It's really cool to hear him actually speak the truth. Sounds like it is.
Make America great.
As a guy who's an international student, Trump is speaking out the truth.
He wants to make America great, and that's what I want to.
What's more fun than a Trump rally, right? We have a country that we're proud of and that we love and that we're not going to lose. There is an assault on everything that we stand for, and we're going to stop the assault.
We have a movement going on, folks.
20,000 people in Dallas, 35,000 in Mobile, Alabama. This whole arena packed, and we're sending people away.
We're winning in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Texas. It's been wild.
His passion is the fabric of America. Work ethic, dreams, drive, and faith in the Almighty. Are you all ready to make America great again?
We're going to bring back our country. We're going to bring our jobs back. We're going to bring our manufacturing back. We're going to start winning again. The silent majority, it's back, and it's not silent. We're tired of being pushed around by incompetent people, and it's going to change. You are going to be so proud of your country again. You're going to remember this evening, and you're going to say to your children that we were part of a movement to take back our country. We will make America great again.
This election is a generational choice about what kind of country we will be. And before us now is the opportunity to author the greatest chapter yet in the amazing story of America. But we can't do that by going back to the leaders and ideas of the past. We must change the decisions we are making by changing the people who are making them. The final verdict on our generation will be written by Americans who have not yet been born. Let us make sure they record that we made the right choice. That in the early years of this century, faced with a rapidly changing and uncertain world, our generation rose to face the great challenges of our time. Because we did, there was still one place in the world where who you come from does not determine how far you go. Because we did, our children and theirs lived in a new American century. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States.
I'm Marco Rubio, and I approve of this message.
My story is like that of so many other American families. I'm the son of an immigrant father who fled oppression in Cuba and came to this country with just $100 to his name. My mom was a pioneer in computer science, smashing glass ceilings at a time when women were discouraged from following their dreams. And now, as a husband to Heidi and a father to our two little girls, Caroline and Catherine, I try to share the same messages of hope, freedom, and faith in God that I was raised with. Amen. That's why I've worked so hard to lead the fights to defend these cherished values. Like the historic battle to defund Obamacare, standing up to the leadership from both parties to fight a debt ceiling increase, and putting everything on the line to stop President Obama's illegal and unconstitutional amnesty. We've sent a clear message that America will stand with our allies and against our enemies, and taken on an IRS that was threatening and intimidating its citizens. And the divide that exists in our country isn't between political parties. It's between Washington and the rest of us. It's a time for truth, a time to rise to the challenge, just as Americans have always done, and give bold voice and action to reclaiming the unlimited potential of each and every one of us. Your fight is my fight. I believe in America and her people. I believe in the conservative principles upon which this country was built. And I believe we can stand up and restore our promise, honor the Constitution, and reestablish our leadership in the world. It's going to take a new generation of courageous conservatives to help make America great again. And I'm ready to stand with you to lead the fight. I'm Ted Cruz. If you want more of the same, there'll be plenty to choose from. But if you want real conservative change and a proven record, I hope I can earn your support.
Ted Cruz for president.
Move abroad, conservatives think.
I recognize
They should have said
red
something.
state announced blue state.
They don't know what they're doing.
I have learned.
Hey, what about us?
My dad carried mail on his back. They called him John the Mailman, and they loved him because he looked out for everyone in those neighborhoods. I learned something from my father. Do your best to look out for other people. We turned Ohio around, and we created jobs and cut taxes and balanced our budgets. I spent 18 years on the Armed Services Committee with some of the finest defense minds in the world. I was one of the chief architects of balancing the budget. First time we did it since man walked on the moon. We haven't done it since. It can happen again.
John Kasich's for us.
New Day for America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Vote, vote, inspire. Vote, vote, revive. Vote, vote. Ben Carson 2016. Vote and support Ben Carson for our next president and be awesome.
America became a great nation early on, not because it was flooded with politicians, but because it was flooded with people who understood the value of personal responsibility, hard work, creativity, innovation, and that's what will get us on the right track now. I'm very hopeful that I'm not the only one who's willing to pick up the baton of freedom, because freedom is not free and we must fight for it every day. Every one of us must fight for it because we're fighting for our children and the next generation.
If we want to get America back on track, we gotta vote Ben Carson. As a matter of fact, go out and vote.